Hi, Paul Sackis, Good News Broadcast, speaking to the COO of PeopleFinders.com, Bryce Lane. Hi, Bryce. How are you?
Good. How are you, Paul?
Okay, good. Tell us about People Finders.
So, People Finders is a service that's been in existence for 20 years, and we sell people searches and background reports.
Okay.
We help you reconnect with people that you might have lost touch with in life, family members or friends, and we also help you get additional information on people that you encounter in everyday life, like maybe neighbors or nannies that you might be curious about.
Okay, all right. And there's a lot that I am curious about. I think we have a class reunion on Saturday, which is sometimes the reason why people go to those is because they're curious on how their friends and for many years their loved ones, right, their whole community, what's happened to them, right?
Absolutely. There's a lot of our customers that fall into that bucket.
Well, geez, I just thought of that. We could have used you guys. Because actually, I was I was the nerd, so I was the president of class, and there was many that we didn't know how to find. We probably, if we, worked with you, we probably could have done a little better job, I think.
Absolutely, that's one of the things that people use the service for.
How did it originate? How did you guys pull this business together?
So the founder of the company has been doing it for 20 years, and he started out aggregating, collecting public records data from all these different sources and selling it to professionals. That was the early kind of beginnings of the business, and then with the advent of the web, 10 years ago or so, he started selling direct to consumer online. So. And now the business is largely a consumer-based business. It's mostly consumers coming in and running these reports, whereas before the internet, it was selling business to business.
I for whatever reason, I rented out a room, in my home, and it was interesting. The gentleman who rented it, a college student, said, I'm going to do a search on you, right? Find out a little bit about the background, and I said, geez. Maybe I should do a search on him. I guess there's some important, in addition to just, going on the Google kind of, you give him more in depth. So if he looked me up and he was part of your, People Finders, what kind of a document would he get on me?
Well, there's different types of reports. I'll just, if it's a background report, which it sounds like it was, you're going to get, where you've lived for the past, up to 40 years, who you've lived with, who your possible associates were in different business ventures, any criminal records data you have, any property ownership data, and there's a number of other data sets. But those are the kind of the big ones. So it is it's instantaneous. You come on, you type in a name, and you get a report right then. So it's very good for what you were just describing.
Is there anything new here on your People Finders that people should know about, and other ways that you can be helpful to people?
Sure. We're constantly innovating, and the way that we innovate is we listen to the customers. How are you able to find the person that you're looking for? And one of the things that we just added to help people kind of narrow their search down was a two-name search. So, say you had a common name. Say your name was John Smith or something. Common. It's going to be more difficult to narrow down the particular John Smith living in, Pittsburgh, than another name. And so we have a two-name search. It will pair John Smith with, maybe it's a wife or maybe it's someone that you live with. That'll more easily narrow that search down. That's an example of an innovation that we just launched recently.
That's great. Actually, I did multicultural ethnic marketing for many years as well, and I believe that one of the most difficult names is Lee, L-E-E. A tough name.
Right. There are many Lees.
From all nationalities. So that's another interesting one. I think that what you're doing here is really good. I mean, I think it also shows the power of the internet and the power of data now on today's, and a good reason for people to be good, because people can find out a lot of. There's no transparency now on our lives.
Absolutely, we're not taking anything that doesn't already exist in the public domain. We're just simply making it more accessible, and so. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's just there's so much information out there in the public domain.
Great website also, criminal records, business ownership. That's interesting. You're going to buy someone's business, go and look them up, see what's going on with somebody's business, background check. This is important information. Usually people feel uncomfortable to even ask.
Right.
And this is a good way to do it without having to.
Exactly.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. I know you have a lot of interviews. Peoplefinders.com will link on over, and I'm sure you've made a lot of people happy. I bet you have had, how many marriages have you helped to make happen?
I don't have a number at the top of my head, but we've had several.
I'm sure. Okay, good news. Bryce, thank you very much for sharing the good news.
Appreciate the time.
Okay, bye-bye.